North of the spine of the world, and west of the towering rugged glacier, is a frigid expanse few dare to explore, let alone inhabit. This icy land of wind-swept tundra recently became locked in a perpetual dark winter without reprieve. Auril, the frostmaiden, the divine embodiment of winter's fury, has withdrawn to this cold corner of the world to live among mortals. Further, she has cast a terrible spell over Icewind Dale, to the detriment of most of its denizens. Each night before midnight, Auril takes to the sky on the back of a white rock and weaves her spell, which manifests as a shimmering curtain of light, a beautiful aurora that illuminates the night sky and fades before dawn. The powerful magic prevents the next day's sun from rising above the horizon, turning midday into twilight and trapping Icewind Dale in winter's dark embrace. With no sunlight or warmth to melt the snow and ice, each casting of the spell leaves the frostmaiden weakened, with just enough divine power left to barricade herself. Such measures discourage travelers from approaching or leaving Icewind Dale, further isolating the region. There is a sense in Icewind Dale that there is this impending dread of people who have been, unfortunately, drawing a similar to the world we have today. People have been locked down. There's this dread, this impending doom and gloom for these people because they haven't seen the sun for 2 years. And you folks have been thrown into this, just recently thrown into this place. Except for Dareth, except for
Skywatcher?
Skywatcher's clan.
Akhenaten.
If the Akhenaten clan, or even the Worm Doom clan, if you guys cross over the top of the spine of the world, the sun still rises over there. But for some reason, it stopped rising on the Icewind Dale side. So there's some questions being asked by your clan, obviously. Such measures discourage travelers from approaching or leaving the Icewind Dale, further isolating the region. Icewind Dale has thus been trapped in a different reality from the rest of the world. For though the sun never rises over the dale, it continues to rise every day, rise everywhere else. The people of Icewind Dale know Auril's wrath when they feel it, and have a name for the unending winter she has inflicted on them. They call it the everlasting Rime. No one understands why the Frostmaiden has imposed her will in this way, or why the other gods refuse to challenge her. This prolonged winter has gone on for more than 2 years, and threatens to doom not just the flickering lights of civilization known as 10 towns, but also the indigenous flora and fauna that need sunlight and change of seasons to survive. This is what you know. You guys are in a place called Bryn Shander. BRYNSHANDER. Somehow, you've been brought to this town. Trace, you managed to secure some sort of. You know what, Trace?
I might have.
I'll tell you what.
Found a tracker who
You found some people to get you here, and as you were coming here, you guys found a wood elf in the snow, and you were brought into 10 towns, into Bryn Shander, where they dropped you at the North Look Inn, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. The North Look Inn. Actually, they drove all the way through the town to get you there. Bishop, you got here you came in the North Gate with a dog sled team. Somehow you made it to Bryn Shander. So, you guys are in the North Look Inn and Tavern. The North Look is an establishment most frequented by mercenaries. I have a question for you, Sky Guy.
Hello.
Yet.
I would assume you came in through the West Gate.
It's a bold assumption, friend.
And made your way into town. And what really brought you here to town?
I'm looking for a challenge.
Okay, fair enough.
Slides an algebra problem across the table.
Let's not get too advanced.
Yeah.
1 plus 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Window.
We are in
Well,
Slovakia.
I suppose if you go to the North Look, you may find somebody there looking to hire someone of your
North Look,
stature. Fair enough, big fella.
Thank you, kind sir.
You get up to
You're welcome.
You get up to the door. It's like you must be this tall to ride this adventure. Oh.
Now, the North Look Inn and Tavern is an establishment most frequented by mercenaries and adventurers. That's where most of it gets sent to, and as such is a rowdy and most dangerous place to stay. At the same time, its tap room is the best spot in all of the 10 towns to get leads on profitable ventures, along with the latest news and rumors. So, as you guys are, you know the inn's proprietor. I will give you the inn's proprietor and his name. He is a probably kind of an old retired, perhaps a veteran of something.
Okay.
His name is Scram Sachs. I had a different name for him, but I'm just going to use the name in the book. I think that's his last name. He's just going by his last name.
He's like, please, Mr. Sachs was my father.
Right?
Just call me Scram. Give me a
And,
drink. Now Scram!
Stuffed and mounted on a plaque above the hearth in the common room is an enormous fish that looks like this.
Holy jeez Louise, pepper cheese.
All right.
Works out.
Above or below the fish, you'll see the name Old Bitey.
Old Bitey.
So,
Old Bitey McBiteface.
the tap room is pretty full tonight and pretty. It's not rowdy, but people are talking about different things and different happenings that are going on in the 10 towns and what's happened in this town. And your passive perception, you can hear the word murder in the background somewhere, in several conversations.
Not murder. I'm having a listen.
Me too.
You also hear in the background you can hear some dwarves talking about we got stuck and well, we lost our load, and you can hear that in the background.
My ears perk up. This sounds like a familiar story.
So, but I'm going to assume that maybe you two kind of, because you were found.
Well, yeah, I mean, she kind
You might
of
know.
owes me for saving her life.
Blood debt's a blood debt.
You're just kind of sitting in the tap room. So, what are you doing in the tap room?
Well, I'm having something to eat that isn't human flesh.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good way to start.
Are you sitting by yourself?
No, I'm sitting
There's
at-
some common tables where you can sit by yourself, but there's other people at the table.
Yeah, I'm just looking for
There's
the calmest looking folk in the room and taking a seat there.
you sit down and the conversation you hear about there's 3 dwarves at the end of this common table, but they're talking to some guys at the other on another table, and you can hear them chatting, and you're having something to eat. What are you doing? You walk into the tap room, and just for that split second, everything stops.
Can I get a Thirley Temple?
and then it just stops for that split second. It's not long. It's just a split second. Everybody go, and then they get back to their conversations really fast. What do you want to do?
Okay, and I heard someone mention the word murder, right?
Just as you walked in, yeah, you could hear it all over the. You could hear it all over. People are like talking. And murder. And you can hear another.
The closest table where I hear the word murder, I'm just gonna walk up. You say something about a murder?
Please?
We heard about murders.
What
We hear
can you
about
tell
them
me
all
about
the
the
time.
murder?
Well, we heard there was a murder in another town across the lake.
Do you know any details of this murder?
Well, not really. No, I don't. No, I don't. You could talk to that guy over there, and in the corner, there is a dwarf. He's kind of sitting in a booth, and it's by himself, but it's like a 2-person booth. It's got a table, and then just
Horseshoe.
and then a horseshoe, and then there's a chair. He's pulled up, and he's got his feet propped up on there. We'll hold it there.
He's sitting there, like, trying to warm up and...
You're sitting by the hearth,
Sure, yeah.
watching Old Bitey, and you know, you're watching Old Bitey, and every now and then, there's a place, you see Old Bitey come to life. There's a place I'd like to go farther up the river slope, where it is I do not know, and then he shuts up.
So they put a Billy Bass
That
into
is
this
weird.
frickin' game.
Every now and then it does this, and it sings these words.
And nobody like wants to.
Nobody pays attention.
Oh, wow.
It's almost inaudible
Fireball.
Yeah.
in the background, in the din of all the people here tonight in the inn. So
Excuse me, innkeeper. How much to remove that fish
Yeah.
from my presence? Yeah.
How
Oh.
much can I pay to buy that?
Yeah. So take it outside.
Oh.
Bury it.
he looks at you and he says, "Aha, I wouldn't sell Old Bitey for anything."
What's the story behind Old Bitey? Why is he singing?
Well, he was pulled out of the icy depths of the Mare Dowlin before before anybody else could catch him. He was finally pulled out of there by a human rogue named Kinter, and his companion, a human druid who called himself Maverick. They hauled Old Bitey here to Norfolk, hoping to have him cooked up, but I bought it from them, stuffed him instead, and some damn wizard pulled a prank on me, and now he sings like that all the time.
Okay.
Pretty much. Can I get you anything to eat? What would you like? We have fish, and we have fish.
Stuff.
We have
steak.
fish stew.
Yeah.
We have fish stew. We have knucklehead and stew.
I guess I'll take the fish stew.
choice, a good choice.
Okay.
That'll be, yeah, he goes back. He tends some of the tables. He's got a couple serving,
You wanna
gals
say
here.
wenches? Yeah, but you didn't.
oh yeah, there's wenches here.
Yeah.
Like big, buxom,
Yeah, bar wenches.
but they've got hips. Like, they're pretty too. They're from the north. They're pretty girls.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, and hips. And they're buxom. They're all that in a bag of chips.
Every time somebody says they're attractive in a medieval world, I just go to dentistry and whatnot.
Until they-
I'm like, yeah,
until
they
they-
smile.
until they
Like,
smile.
oh.
And both of them, they got a space so wide you could fly a 747 through it.
And meanwhile, he's like, those girls like to eat.
Because he's got the thing.
Yeah.
They're way hotter than the ones in my village.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Just kind of sitting there listening.
You can hear the conversations going around, and you hear the murder word, and you can hear these dwarves talking about they lost their stuff.
You know, ask the innkeeper about the murder.
20, 15 or 20, just to get us rolling. About the murders. He's like, well, I guess I heard about some of them. Something going on across the lake. Somebody got murdered across the lake not too long ago.
You said some of the murders?
Well, there's been a couple in a few of the towns, the most recent was across the lake.
How do you get across
Here's your
the lake?
fish. Here's your fish stew. Well, you could take a dog sled or rent, or perhaps buy yourself an axe beak.
Yeah, I hear this and I'm just like siding up to the conversation, just like, yeah. You say rent a what?
Well, you could buy yourself an axe beak or rent dog sled.
You say buy an axe beak?
There's domesticated axe beaks for sale here in
Holy
town.
shizbot.
Excuse me, I got another table. He drops your, kind of put your stew down. Oh, did you want anything to drink? We have mead, and we have mead.
Yeah, you don't want the water.
Guess I'll have beef.
Sheila, can you get the young lady a
Sheila.
mead, please?
The menu is very diverse here.
Meat. That's
Fish
it.
stew.
Well, actually,
Mead and fish stew.
well, miss, as you can see, we don't get much deliveries. There's not much going on when it's minus 80 below outside. And he shoots away. Trace, do you play an instrument?
I do. I've got the dulcimer, the flute, and the lute.
And the flute of the flesh. Yes.
Hey, you new guy. I didn't hire you to just sit around play some of that music you said you could play.
Sure.
Roll
Like
me
some
a-
of that southern music.
What do you play? What do you play?
I'm going to play a jaunty little tune, something to kind of pick up the
mood.
excitement and energy and the mood. And at the same time as I'm doing that, can I do a detect thoughts on someone?
Sure. Who would you like to do detect thoughts on?
Boy, the dwarves in the back, I think.
The 3 or the 1?
The 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and pick up on surface thoughts about this load that was dropped somewhere.
Okay. Fair enough.
Meanwhile, at the
Roll
bar's
me a
thinking about
performance
dropping
check.
a load in Sheila.
That is an 11 plus a 5 for my proficiency, so 16.
You are playing this wonderfully jaunty little tune. Just, what's it sound like? Is it like a sea shanty, or is it a story of some kind?
It is a story of a time when there was sun that shone upon the northern lands. Rumors of times and time before. And a false prophecy about how it will come again within... one year.
I tell you what, it's well
I'll tell
received.
you
People
what.
are like, they're like, yeah, that sounds like good times. Like your story is really kind of picking up the Your thing. Okay, do your thoughts thing.
DC 13. They have to pass that save.
Okay. Now, can you pick one or all three?
It has to be one at a time. I can pick surface thoughts. If I want to dive deeper, I can. If I
Okay.
want to shift to someone else, I can.
I'm going to actually give you a choice. There are three of them. So one of them looks like he's very silent, doesn't talk much. One looks like he's
Paranoid is...
paranoid as fudge, and the other one who's doing most of the talking, is that the one you want to...
I'm going to start
Looks
on him.
most outgoing.
I'm going to start on him, and then I might shift it over to the quiet one, because sometimes the quiet ones have the most to say, but they just don't.
Okay. You can hear the surface thoughts, basically, of wish we hadn't lost our load of our sled of iron ingots, and that Yeti really surprised the living hell out of us. Too bad he ripped up Obok. Man, I wish we could find some people who could help us. And you see, he, like, the people who are listening to him, they stop talking to him. They don't seem interested at all. And we'll come back to you. Who is going to the dwarf in the corner?
I am.
We'll go back here.
Or
Or would you like to resolve these next time?
it's getting quite late, so maybe next time.
We will resolve these. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Again, we want to remind everybody that our good friend Kelly has a wonderful, wonderful project he's working on, and I was wondering if you'd share it with us.
It's called Sacked. It's a story about a pillow that kicks ass and takes names. You can check it out at sacked.ca. That's SAKD.ca. Check it out.
Excellent. Thanks again. We hope everybody has a great weekend. Play some games, enjoy your friends, get together, and be well.
Hasta luego.
Tschüss.
Well, folks, what will our heroes find? Tune in next time to find out, right here on our little D&D game.